Hey guys, quick video tonight on how to insert an equation into a Microsoft Word document. It's not that hard to do. The only trouble that I have here is that I'm on a Mac. The new computer that I bought to do these videos is on a Mac, and the program that you guys use at school is Microsoft Word for PC. So there's a little bit of a compatibility difference, so I'm going to try to toggle back and forth between the two so you can see exactly what's going on, and hopefully I can guide you through this. So the point is, you're going to have your Microsoft Word document that's going to be up and running and working and doing whatever it is that you're doing. And you're going to come to a location where you want to put an equation in. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go down here in your window, and you want to open the Insert tab. Okay, so you're going to have Home, Insert, Page Layout. Under Insert, and then all the way to the right, you'll see this tab right here called Equation. Okay. I find it easiest just to single click that button one time. This pull down menu here has some regular equations in it, things like circumference for a circle, for area of a circle, and so on and so forth, but I find it easiest just to go ahead and click the equation button one time. If you do that, what happens is you'll be opened up into this window right here. Now, the most important thing to remember about the new version of Microsoft Word is if we're working on this element right here where we're going to type this equation, this Design tab will be highlighted in some color. Mine happens to do in purple, and that allows you to go ahead and insert in here. If for some reason you were to click out of it, Design would no longer be highlighted in purple, which tells you that you're not working on it. So I just want you to go ahead and keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to toggle over to this right over here. And what I'm going to do is something just a little different. I want to go ahead and set up a dimensional analysis example so you can see exactly how we would insert this equation. So let's say I'm making this up on the fly. To be completely honest with you, we can ask the question something along the lines of I don't know, how many seconds are in 3.25 years. Okay, so that would be the equation that we're trying to answer. So keep in mind, when we're doing dimensional analysis, what we're going to do is we're just going to string together a bunch of fractions all together. Okay, so here we are down here. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and we're going to go to Insert Equation. I think you have that option on yours as well. And it opens up the same window. Now keep in mind, we're going to string a bunch of conversion factors together, a bunch of fractions together in order to make this work out. So we've got all these options up here: fraction, script, radical, integral, operator, bracket, and so on and so forth. In chemistry, you're pretty much going to use fraction, script, and maybe sometimes radical. Generally speaking, fraction and script. We'll use script mostly when we're doing equations. Chemical equations, you can see you can put subscripts here, superscripts here, and so on and so forth. But for this case, we'll go ahead and use fractions. Now, under fraction, you've got two options. You got a big fraction and you got a little fraction. The difference is this would be set up as like a conversion factor, one number over another number that you'd be multiplying together. This fraction right here is more like something like 1/2. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to understand that we're going to go ahead and select this fraction first. Now, you've got a working cursor in here, okay? I'm toggling on my left and right buttons right here, okay? And when I click left, okay, when I open it up, it would have the cursor all the way to the right. When I click left, it puts it in the bottom box. If I click left one more time, it puts it in the top box. I can also click down. Up and down toggles between these two boxes, and clicking right gets me out of it. Now, I did something right there that I wanted to show you. As long as this box right here is highlighted in blue, you're going to be working in it. If I click right, I'm no longer working in the equation. You can see that up here on my toolbar and everything like that, the equation concept goes away. In other words, that shaded purple that I showed you in this Word document right here, that's going to go away as well. Okay, so that shaded purple right there goes away as well. All right, so come back over to here. We want to be inside this box. So as we know in dimensional analysis, we want to say that we've got 3.25 years. We're going to put that over 1. Okay. You can see I got out of the box. I don't necessarily want to do that. We're going to string a bunch of conversion factors together, and yes, we could string together a bunch of individual fractions the way we did before, or if we stay in the box, we can get back to our equation tools, is what my option was, or that Design tab as we showed you. And you can see you've got all these math symbols, all these operators right here. We can say times, and that automatically puts it in right there. So now we're still working on that same equation. So now we want to insert another fraction, and we're going to say on the bottom, all right, well, what we know is that 1 year always contains 365 days. Okay, so we've been working in that. So click right to get out of this again, and you can see that I'm still in that operator. Click right one more time, out of that box, but we want to stay in the box. I want to say times, insert a new fraction. Okay, up on top, we want, or down bottom, we want to say 1 day is equal to 24 hours. Let me get back out here again. I just clicked that time, that got me out there, times another fraction we can insert right there. We can say down bottom, for every 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. And finally, again, we can get out of that. We can say times, one more fraction, for every 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. Okay, so you can see how this go ahead and sets up right here. Now there are a couple things we can do. Now we can either say equals, and we can go ahead and put a number. We could say equals and then put a fraction, where we're going to go ahead and simplify all of our units if we wanted to. Or, like I said before, we can get out of the box and say equals here. You can see it makes it its own element at that point. I don't recommend that, that concept right there. So I'm going to get back in the box, go back to my equation tools, and we'll say equals. Okay, you can see equals is up here as well. And now I got to find my calculator. Don't see it right here. Give me a second, I'll go get it. It's in the other part of the room. Got it, old calculator. Had it up on the screen, but by the time I open it up, it'll be gone. So now we can go ahead and punch in 3.25 times 365 times 24 times 60 times 60. Okay, so that's what you see right there. I don't know how well you can see that. Equals some huge number. Now bear in mind, we want to keep our number with the right number of significant figures. There are 3 significant figures here, so we want to go ahead and put it in 3 significant figures. The way that this works out is it works out to be 1.02. Now this worked out perfectly because it's going to be 1.02 to some value. Okay, so in scientific notation, that works out to be 1.02492 times 10 to the 8. So we got a couple of options right here. We can either say 1.02 times, now that script function comes in. We can go ahead and insert this. You can see now we've got working boxes right here, times 10 to the 8th, which gives us a nice clean number. Or, similarly, we could put it in the other form of scientific notation by saying 1.02. We can use the math function for scientific notation, e, okay, 8. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this. If we open this up right here, I could be wrong, I'm not seeing it. Scientific notation e, as in a little e. It's like a capital E, but it's only half the size. I'm not seeing it up here. It tells me that maybe it's not in this set of tools here. No, I'm not seeing it. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do it right there. Personally, I would probably stick to this value here. Now keep in mind I left off units. We want to write the seconds right there, or 1.2 times 10 to the 8th seconds right there. So that's pretty much how you're going to do this. Now the equation editor is not a hard thing to use. The biggest thing to remember is that once we click on that, it's an object. So as soon as you click on that, we can do one thing. We can delete it. Oh my god, where'd it go? Well, undo, and there it goes back again. You can also simplify it. Let's say you only wanted to show it that way right there. Simplify it right there. You're all set right there. Because it's an object, you've got formatting options. You can left justify, right justify, center. The actual justification didn't do anything. You can increase the size of it. Oh, there's the justification right there. Okay, you can save an equation for you. That makes it nice and easy for you. And you can move it around. Maybe you want to slide it down. Maybe we want to slide it up. We want it up in here instead. And it goes ahead and moves the whole thing around. So I hope that helped you out. I hope you're able to get something out of that. And hopefully it gives you enough to work with. You really just kind of have to play with the equation editor to get it right. But really it's not too bad of a feature. And it really makes things look nice and clean and neat for you. So when you're going ahead and working your way through your calculations, you can do it pretty seamlessly and straightforward. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. Thanks.